living in a time where we need healing, healing messages, healing music. And through playing Celie, I've been healed. I am Celie.
Shug is a woman that you're not going to keep down, and she has to do work, real work to heal. She set herself free so that she could come back and set so many women free.
From this film, so many people are gonna be seen. They're gonna feel that renewal.
It's time for you to see the world.
When I was first hired to direct The Color Purple, I knew that we were bringing an imaginative quality that only our version has. I think the very first thing that I pitched was this giant gramophone scene, which for me was the moment when I understood how we were going to oscillate between reality and fantasy.
Well, don't just stare at it. Turn around.
When you first hear Taraji's voice, it's a moment of innocence. It was really powerful because she plays it in almost a tiptoe, and there's a connection in that moment.
Where you going?
Fantasia Barrino, who was a bit hard to sell on being Celie, reprising her role from Broadway.
I've spent some time with Celie before. She's familiar to me. I remember when Blitz first called me and asking me about playing it, and I ran from it for a while. He started showing me that he was gonna give Celie an imagination, and that is what drew me in. When we were on set, that was like a big real-life record that they brought in. And Celie gets to dance around and sing.
Got about 1,000,000 tingles sneaking on up my spine. I wash your body and it feel like I'm praying. Try not to look, but my eyes ain't obeying.
That was Celie's moment to allow the song to get out some things that she really, really wanted to say that she couldn't say to Shug. Celie and I are so much alike, especially as a kid. I would always imagine myself somewhere. So I thought it was perfect that he just didn't keep her silent and make people have to wonder, like, well, I wonder what she's thinking. You get to see what she's thinking.
This scene, for me, was the moment when I understood how we were going to travel through imagination in this film. And that's where Paul Asterberry's brilliant mind came into work.
The trick was really finding the best, most appropriate gramophone, so props got quite a number of them in, and we looked at them and then scaling it up. We built everything but the big horn. We had a giant record player with all the grooves in it and a huge label. We didn't really move around too much. The turntable did a lot.
Here comes Shug, teaching her, loving on her, seeing her.
How come you don't laugh none?
That is when Celie begins to heal because somebody could see her.
Ooh, sweet and loving God. Now we're talking.
Making Push the Button was a moment in my career that I will never forget.
The way we framed the Juke Joint scene was, imagine the biggest artist in the world going back home to perform in a little hole in the wall.
Coming in on that barge in the swamp was so beautiful. You know, that's who Shug is out in the world, this beautiful, glamorous superstar. So it was beautiful to see her transition into that in the small town. And that was rare for women back in the day. I mean, it's one thing to run it in the rehearsal, but to get it on its feet, all the lights and the costumes and the wardrobe.
That moment is all about that red dress. We knew it was iconic, but we knew that we needed to dial it up. Francine worked on the original 1985 Steven Spielberg film as an assistant costumer. So my work with her was a full circle. She showed up with so much passion and knowledge.
I wanted Taraji not to have the sackiness of the 1920s, the early 20s, but to have it a little bit more contoured of the mid and late 20s. And that headdress with the pearls, I was looking at it on the monitor and I thought, oh my gosh, it just all worked. Everything keeping a bit within the period, pushing the period a little so that we can remain true to it, but at the same time, giving Taraji the sexy movement that she needed.
It's about a 3.5-minute song. Our challenge immediately was, we might get redundant. We need to figure out a way to break it up. What if the lights go out? Now, this gives us an opportunity to reset and to turn the environment into a new world.
Ooh, it ain't over yet, y'all.
The beautiful ending for me is when Mr. is assuming that she's going to come to him. To watch her navigate that and choose Celie in that moment.
Celie was feeling like that was the first moment somebody recognized her in front of a community in a town where nobody could see her. Everybody was in the Juke Joint. They came to see Shug Avery. That was big for her.
I'm full as a tick on a big old dog. Let's see. Hey.
Well, Sofia, I think we all glad you finally home.
Yeah, welcome home, Sofia.
The dinner scene is so complex because it's so important to get everyone's point of view.
You sure you don't want nothing to eat?
That dinner scene really is the pinnacle. It is family in all of its mess and all of its inconsistencies coming to a head and having to address issues that are deep, long-standing, and buried under the surface.
It's a very tricky scene to shoot, and kudos to Dan Lawson and to Blitz, our director.
It's a table of 8 characters, all of who need a specific kind of framing and all of who need a specific kind of light.
So when you're coming into the room, it's pretty dark, but it's still very, very bright outside. There was like this feeling about a bright light that couldn't come into this like creepy house. And the way we shot it was, so we really have the feeling about the light is blowing into the room.
It's about time to load the luggage.
No. Oh, come on, Miss Celie, why don't you go and have some peas and be civil now?
Hoppo, your daddy made my life hell on earth. He ain't nothing but a sack of dead horse shit, and horse shit belong in the ground.
She called him a sack of dead horse shit.
Danielle Brooks coming alive. She goes from an entire laugh to this incredible traverse of tears. I have never seen anything that special.
Hoppo, pass me them peas. I want to thank you, Miss Celie, for everything you've done for me. I was feeling mighty bad rotting in that prison cell, but you came and seen about me every week without fail. That's how I know there's a God.
It's one of the most proudest performances I have. I'm really proud of it. At the end of the day, you can rise, you can get back up. And I felt that so many times in my career. I just feel like at the end of, Alice Walker's book, she says, amen. That's how I felt about that scene. And it means it is well.
Oh, Sofia home now. There's gonna be some changes made.
The most special element that we've been able to contribute to The Color Purple is that we could find within the character's mind, actively working their way towards healing.
And the only way to heal is to forgive those who traumatized you. That's the only way you can heal. You cannot heal if you hold on to resentment, if you hold on to anger,
I think that's the beautiful thing about humanity and people is sometimes we don't know how to get to that place. But if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, you will find, I think, your empowered Celie.
Celie.
That is something that we need more in the world today, for somebody to they just want to be seen. They just want to be heard, loved, and that's when the healing takes place.